Welcome to all. In today's session, we will discuss on opportunities and challenges in foreign employment in Australia. We have invited a special guest from Australia, Mr. Rakesh Maharjan. He is professional photographer, cinematographer, and filmmaker. He will be sharing his learning, exploration, and experiences in the foreign land.
The startup days in Australia as a Nepali.
So when I first came to Australia in 2013, I had like only $200 in my pocket. I thought like it would be so easy to find a job and accommodation in Australia. After a few weeks of arrival, when all my money was about to finish, I realized that the living cost in Australia is very high. Then I started looking for a job. Luckily, due to my like some friends over here in Australia, I got chance to get an interview for two totally different job. Like one was for kitchen hand job and other one was for a graphic designing job. So I attended like both the interview in the same week. So for my graphic designing job, they offer me like $14 per hour and maybe 2 days in a week. But whereas in a kitchen hand job, they offer me around like $25 per hour and 5 days a week. So I rather choose kitchen hand job than graphic designing job at that time because I had like a financial problem when I first came to Australia. So I choose kitchen hand job and started working as a kitchen hand job.
Okay. Like in Nepal, like you are so fascinated towards the graphic designing, and even you have started your own business in Nepal, and you left all and you decided to go there. And how you felt to start off with this kitchen hand job?
So literally talking about like kitchen hand job, I don't think anyone likes to do like a kitchen hand job. But when I first came to Australia, as I already mentioned, like I had a financial issue, so I have to do like a kitchen hand job. Like kitchen hand job is literally like washing dishes. And when I was in Nepal, like I never even washed my spoon or plates or anything. I never even entered the kitchen in Nepal. And when I started working in like a kitchen in Australia, it was like devastating for me. Like I literally held myself. Like I was wondering why I was in Australia. Like why even I make a decision of coming to Australia. Yeah, it was so bad. Like when I first work as a kitchen hand job in Australia.
Okay, then currently, like you are doing a lot in the videography, and you have like changed your profession even, right? And how you come to this new profession? Like you were in the kitchen hand job, right? And how you thought to go in the new job, and how you start off, and even in Nepal you were studying business management, right? And how
Oh
you
yeah.
got opportunity to study.
Yeah. So when I was working back in Nepal as a graphic designer, I was always fascinated by the work of talented photographers, but never thought that I can do that as well. So the place where I was working as a kitchen hand, later like promoted to the demi chef, I realized that working as a chef wasn't my hobby or the thing. So and I don't even like most about working as a kitchen. So I finally gathered courage to leave my full-time job as a chef and try to follow my passion, which was filmmaking and photography. But it was really very hard. Like it wasn't that easy to move from one job to another as I expected it to be. It was so I was jobless for almost 5 months and I have no job that time. But luckily I met a Nepalese photographer who was doing events photography in Sydney, Australia, and I met him through a Facebook page and we started working together as an event photographer. So while working together, we talk about like photography and filmmaking a lot. So one day we came up with the idea of studying like filmmaking. Like so, if we love like filmmaking, why not study that one? Um, so that was one step closer to my goal. So we met lots of people like eagerly passionate about filmmaking and photography. So I got like lots of chance of doing like Aussie movies. So I have done lots of Aussie movies in Australia now, and have been working as well like a group photographer in a company. So I also studied like later on, like I also completed my master's degree in software engineering and network engineering.
Okay, it was the turning point to you, right? And
Yeah.
during working time frame, what kind of environment you face, whether that people were kind, helpful to you or not.
They were quite helpful, but as we talk about the cultural difference in Nepal and Australia, so it's totally different. Like, so you guys might be like facing the same problem, like how you say please or thank you or appreciate to your friends. So even if you are saying something to your friend, like if you are asking anything to your friend, what would you say? Like we try not to say like please, or we don't say it in a nice way. Like, whereas in Australia everyone tries to be a bit nicer. People call you by your name. They try to like say please for everything. Even if I'm asking someone to get me a drink or something from the fridge, I will say excuse me, can I please get a drink from your fridge? So whereas in Nepal, what we say, like, can you get to the freeze? Like if I say in Nepali, त्यो freeze त्यो coke deta or something like that. So we'll just ask the friends. We don't say please. We don't say please to even our friends. So we don't have that habit of saying please or acknowledging our friends. So I think that was a major difference when I work here. So I don't have that habit because I was a fresh guy from Nepal, and I said give me this, give me that, and I was being, and then so what they realized was I was so rude. I wasn't rude, but like because of the way I speak, so they thought like I was very rude. Then I asked people like, so why do you think like it makes me like you feel rude? And they said the way you speak, because you never say please or never say thank you. So whenever someone gives me something, or when I ask people to do something and they do it for me, I never say please. I just say good. So that's what I think we have to learn. Like we have to acknowledge people, say thank you whenever someone does some helps to us, or whenever we are asking someone to do something. We should have that habit. People are nice here, like, but you need to change yourself as well a little bit. So learn their culture and just go with the flow.
Okay, okay. Thank you. And next question is like other opportunities for Nepalese. What kind of opportunities you saw over there?
So the best thing about Australia is it has a very fair law. So everyone is treated same in Australia. Like it doesn't matter if you are working as a cleaner, kitchen hand, if you are working as a photographer, or if you are an engineer, if you are a doctor, anywhere. So everyone is like treated same. There is the same, like even like you will realize like the cleaner and the doctor will have a same car. Sometimes even like cleaner will be like riding a expensive car than the doctor. So they don't have like financially everyone is pretty much similar. It depends upon how hard they work, and if they are in a very big position, then it might be like little difference. Otherwise, like a base salary of everyone is same, and no one is judged by what the profession they have. So when you ask like what's the for the Nepalese, what's the difference, so there is no difference because everyone is treated same.
That's good. That this is the thing which we even have to learn this part. And is there any moment that now I want to go my nation? No, 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 no more Australia.
Okay.
Is there any such a moment?
Not really, because so yeah, as I already told, like when I first came to Australia and working as a kitchen hand, I thought like I should rather go back to the Nepal and work as a graphic designer than working as a kitchen hand in Australia. Then later, like when I was used to the culture and realized that no work is big, or no profession is bigger than the other profession, and when how like people treated you, like same way. And then I realized like so doing this job or that job isn't big or small. So I thought like it's good to be like anywhere, like, and all the facilities, like say health facilities, transportation facilities, and everything is like pretty much better than Nepal in Australia. I don't know if I should say that, but like it is what it is. So yeah, I come to Nepal like often to visit, but like uh if you're thinking about migrating or building a home, I should rather stay in Australia than Nepal right now.
Okay, thank you for your view. views. And now I want to request my students, like if they have any queries they want to ask, then floor is open for them.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sonal. You don't have to call me sorry. You can just tell me Rakesh. That's all right.
No, no, it's fine. Okay, so
Sir, how much time did it take you to adapt to your new surrounding in a different country overseas?
So when I first came here, like as I already said, like it was so hard, even talking and communicating with the people. Then I thought like if I have to communicate with the people, I first should like improve my language, how I speak and everything. So I started watching their like news channels, TV shows and everything. Every time I am home, I wasn't watching anything like Nepalese or Indian or anything. So I was only watching like Australian news channels and Australian movies so that I can adapt how they speak, so everything else. Then it was easier. Like when my like communication get better, then it was easier to cope up with everything.
Sir, thank
No
you,
worries.
sir.
Thank you for the question.
okay, next.
Hello, Rakesh sir.
Hello, Siddhartha.
Sir, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm also good, sir. So, as I knew after Neely ma'am said me, I was going, that I should take the short interview of Rakesh Maharjan. I went, like she sent me a link, like Instagram. I can see her, and there was YouTube video. As I know that you are cinematographer, director,
Yeah.
photographer, and digital creating. I also like digital creating very much, sir.
That's good. That's good to hear. Like I think
Yeah.
like all the new people, like youth people, are now like taking lot more big, big pictures and making short videos. I see like on YouTube all the time, like people making so many good videos with like a simple mobile cameras or anything else.
Yes, sir.
That glad to know that you like it as well.
Thank you, sir. Yes,
No
sir.
worries.
So I saw the like cinematography which you shoot there. So, sir, I would like to ask a question. What has been your biggest challenge to reach here, and how did you overcome these all challenges?
Oh yeah, good question. Thank you so much for the question, Siddharth. So yeah, it was so hard, like because first thing, like if you are in like, so when you are outside of the house, in some different country, so the first thing is like a financial problem. You need to have money to survive, and as a student, we have to pay our fees, pay rent, pay electricity, internet, and there is so many expenses we have to like cope. And that's why like when I said earlier, like I choose kitchen hand job instead of graphic designing job, because that was paying me better than the graphic designing job. So yeah, so that's why like for the, I think around like 3 to 4 years when I came here, I wasn't able to change the profession that I always wanted to. So I waited, just keep saving money, started buying like camera and everything else slowly. And then when I have a saving that I can afford like not having a job for a year, then I like completely like shut down a job and went to the doing like photography and videography.
Thank you, sir. So, how do you see yourself in next 5 years while sitting in Australia?
It's the most asked question in any of the interview, like, so yeah. So currently I'm like, so even next week I have a shoot for a short film, like I'm doing because I never did like Nepalese short film. So next week I'm shooting a Nepalese short film. If you have gone through my Instagram, you might have seen like
Yes, sir.
some of the clips.
Yes.
So yeah, so in next 5 years I want to be like, making some like real movies, which will be in the cinemas and everything. So yeah, my goal is to make like a short films and build up my own studio and everything. Yeah, that's my goal for the next 5 years.